Hello, here's the news at this hour from Tstv. I'm MAKINDE, Duritilu. Here are some major headlines. MAKINDE visits LAUTECH Teaching Hospital, approves all payment. COVID-19 allowances don't lead us into temptation, health workers warn. Israel Parliament rejects law targeting Netanyahu over indictment. Brazilian club given permission to play match with COVID-19 infected players. The news and details. Oyo State Governor Engineer MAKINDE has approved increased subvention to cover payments of minimum wage 2016 and 2019 arrears, as well as payment of the salaries of 177 members of staff who were recalled. The governor, who visited the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology LAUTECH Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso, also discussed the challenges facing the hospital and also approved payment of COVID-19 hazard allowance to frontline workers, assuring that the payments will be made by the end of August. MAKINDE also said a team will be set up to screen the 46 staff members who were disengaged from Monday, August 17th, adding that if the screening is successful, they will be reinstated. The governor therefore approved the implementation of a pilot study for semi-autonomy for selected secondary healthcare facilities and implementation of residency training and placement of doctors who have completed their residency training from 2021. Meanwhile, Oyo State government has warned private school owners to desist from demanding illegal fees from students who are at home due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The chairman of Oyo State Teaching Service Commission, TESCOM, Pastor Akiande Alamu, who stated this in Ibadan while answering questions pertaining to developments on the state's teaching appointments, said all private school owners ought to have consulted with parents and other stakeholders before making decisions. He, however, urged the private school owners concerned to know that the effect of COVID-19 has not only affected them, but parents as well. Meanwhile, the commission is said to have conducted a computer-based test for all candidates applying for teaching appointments in the state, while reiterating that whoever could not upload his or her credentials to TESCOM's portal should not bother to write the test. Meanwhile, health workers in Nigeria are said to have warned the federal government not to lead them into temptation with the way it handles the payment of COVID-19 hazard allowances, saying that the consequences of such would be disastrous. President of Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, MHWUN, Josiah Bill Belimoye, who made this known on Wednesday, said with regret that the attitude of the government towards the implementation of the COVID-19 hazard allowances to health workers is not commendable. According to him, the correction should be made and every other demand we have made peaceful should be given to us so that they don't push us into embarking on strike that we know will negatively impact on the generality of Nigerians. However, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, who was represented by Director of Human Resources, Federal Capital Territory Administration, Mohammed Bashir, has appealed to health workers to continue to work for improved service delivery in the system, saying that he would prioritize the welfare of the health workers in the FCT. The federal government has on Wednesday received the second donation of 2,000 Nigerian-made face masks from Israel to boost its continued fight against the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic. This donation is said to be the second donation by Israel in fulfillment of its planned donation of 10,000 face masks to support frontline health workers in the country. Director of Information, Media and Public Relations, Olujimi Oyetomi, made this known in a statement in Abuja. Meanwhile, the Israeli ambassador to Nigeria, H.E. Simo Ben Soshan, had earlier pointed out that the face masks were designed in Israel but produced in Nigeria by a Nigerian-Israeli company, Skill G Nigeria. It has, however, sought the partnership of Israel in the establishment of the Medical Ambulance Emergency Service, which is currently underway. To some foreign news, Israeli lawmakers have on Wednesday rejected a bill targeting Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu which sought to block candidates under indictment from forming a future government. In a vote that highlighted the fragility of the premise coalition proposed by opposition leader Yair Lapid, was defeated by 53 to 37. Lapid, who argues that the only reason no such law exists is because it was previously inconceivable that a prime minister facing criminal charges would insist on remaining in office. Meanwhile, lawmaker Gantz's refusal to back the opposition bill has neutralized one threat to the coalition's survival, but an unresolved budget impasse could still force another election demanded that the government must agree to a 2-year budget to provide stability as outlined in his coalition agreement with Netanyahu. A 19-year-old Ugandan, Hilary Humphrey Kawisa, is said to have picked nomination papers to vie for the presidency in the upcoming general elections, saying he had always been a leader and was qualified to lead the country as the constitution allows any Ugandan citizen who is above 18 years to vie for the presidency. Kawisa, in a statement, said he would fundraise for the 20 million Ugandan shillings nomination fees. Mr. Kawisa is also required to collect 100 signatures in every district for his nomination. The teenager, who is reported to have joined legislator Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobby Wine, and former Army General Henry Tumukunde, who have declared interest to run against the incumbent, President Yoweri Museveni. In sports, Brazilian top-flight club Atlético Goianiense have obtained permission to field 4 players who have tested positive for the novel coronavirus. The club said the players were rather in the final stages of the infection and had already complied with all quarantine measures ahead of a match with Flamengo. However, Brazilian authorities have agreed they would no longer pose a risk to others. 24 confirmed positive tests have already rocked the start of the Brazilian football season as the country battles one of the highest caseloads in the world. Bayern Munich midfielder Leon Goretzka has made known that the German Giants are working out on how to curb the legendary talents of Barcelona star Lionel Messi ahead of Friday's Champions League quarter-final. Goretzka, in a statement, has said thousands of people before him have tried to answer questions regarding how Lisbon would stop Messi. Messi is said to have scored his 31st goal this season last Saturday and is looking to lift the Champions League for the 5th time in his career with Barcelona, while treble-chasing Bayern, however, have won all 13 games since the coronavirus lockdown restart. They have, however, underlined their impressive form last Saturday when Robert Lewandowski, the Champions League top scorer, netted twice and created 2 more in the last 16 second-leg rout of Chelsea to seal a 7-1 thrashing on aggregate. Meanwhile, Bayern is set to chase the treble, having already won an 8th straight Bundesliga title and lifted the German Cup. But Goretzka says Barcelona's present form is a true test. With that, we've come to the end of the news. A recap of the headlines. MAKINDE visits LAUTECH teaching hospital, approves all payment. COVID-19 hazard allowances don't lead us into temptation, health workers warn. Israel parliament rejects law targeting Netanyahu over indictment. And in sports, Brazilian club given permission to play match with COVID-19 infected players. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Mobola Barikale. I'm Kende Druatilu. Good day, and thank you for watching.